Hey folks, Dr. McCarthy here, and I want to welcome you to Thursday night's workshop. Tonight we're going to get a little political. If you saw my post from about an hour ago, in this very calm political climate that we're in right now, where everybody loves everybody and we're all getting along, the lefts and the rights and the neos and the oldos. Tonight we're going to talk about the impacts of politics on your health care, because we all know that the politicians in Washington care very much about us. They care very much about lowering our taxes, right? Politicians care very much about making sure that we have enough money in our pockets to pay our bills. And they care very much about, equal rights, and they care very much about you being able to afford health care, correct? You know that's the case. Do you? So tonight I've got here Obamacare versus Trumpcare. And I know some of you who watch on every Thursday night, some of you that have seen this before, you know what my answer is going to be. But for those of you who are tuning in to see really what the differences are between Obamacare and Trumpcare, I'm going to lay them out for you tonight in a nutshell. But first, a little background on myself. I'm a practicing chiropractor, and for the past 15 years or so, I've been working with Dr. Michael Johnson, and he's the one that kind of took me under his wing and taught me these things. What do you do when the medications don't work? A non-drug treatment of dizziness, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, and other chronic conditions. What do you do when the medications don't work? So, Obamacare says that they're going to pay for drugs this way, and Trumpcare says they're going to pay for drugs this way. And we are always having debates in D.C. and in the state capitals on how Medicare is going to be able to afford to continue to pay for the drugs of folks that are senior citizens or folks that are on the Medicare benefit. Medicaid at the state levels, we do the same thing. How in the world can we afford to put all of these kids on ADHD medication? How can we afford that? We're going to get to that tonight. One of the ways that we get our information out is obviously these Thursday night workshops. We broadcast live just about every single Thursday night. And another way we do that is with our DVDs. And we've got a ton of DVDs here in the office, and they are free of charge for patients that come in here. They come, they grab a DVD. We've got them on Hashimoto's, on fibromyalgia, on thyroid problems, neuropathy problems. But this is the first one that we put out, the management of chronic neurological and metabolic conditions. And that's really what we work with here in our office, neurological and metabolic conditions. Neurological means you've got a problem with your nervous system. And whether that's chronic pain, or it's altered function, or your brain's not working well, whether it's early cognitive decline or dementia. We see folks with autoimmune disease that affects their central nervous system. We see folks that have neurological problems that affects their immune system. We see all kinds of people. But the bottom line is we're working on improving the function of the nervous system and improving people's metabolic capacity. By metabolic capacity, it just means your body chemistry. Changing the foods you're eating. Fixing underlying physiological problems so that you don't need to take as many medications. All right, one of the things that we battle about, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare, Trumpcare, is the drugs. And I'm just going to put it to you plainly, all right? This is the truth. The United States makes up about 5% of the world's population. 5% of all the people in the world live here in the United States. Yet this country consumes about 70% of all the drugs, right? So we consume more drugs than any other country in the world. And that works fantastically well when you're talking about the proper drugs for the proper conditions. As far as healthcare in this country is concerned, with acute care, we've got the best healthcare system in the world. The best, bar none. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. So I see my friends on Facebook arguing, oh, Norway's got the best and Denmark's got the best. No, it's Germany. No, it's Canada. And then you got other friends You know, oh, Canada, it's no good. Canada, the people come down here to the United States to get their care because they got to wait six months or whatever. We can argue that all day long. That's not what I'm going to argue with you about. What I am going to argue with you about is chronic problems. People deal with chronic healthcare problems who come into my office and are taking 6, 8, 10, 12 prescription medications. That's where the problem lies. This is a broken system that we've got here. Do you know anybody, have you ever met anybody in your life that's taking 12 prescription drugs and is just fit as a fiddle, healthy as a horse? No, it doesn't work that way. But this is the way our system works. You go to the doctor with a problem, they give you a pill. It doesn't fix you, so your health continues to decline. You get another pill, you get another pill. Now you're taking 3. You start to get side effects of combining those 3 pills. So you take a 4th, you take a 5th. And that's just the way it snowballs. As far as chronic health problems are concerned, our healthcare system in this country is abysmal. I mean, it's terrible. That's why we're taking so many drugs. 5% of the world's population, 70% of the world's prescription drugs. If drugs equal health, we should be the healthiest country in the world. And we're not. By 1950 standards, the World Health Organization determined that the United States ranked 5th as far as overall health in the world. There were 4 other countries that ranked higher than us. And that's not bad. You know, out of all the countries in the world, we ranked 5th. That's pretty darn good. That's 1950. The last numbers that we saw were in 2010, the World Health Organization ranked the United States as 50th. So we went from 5th to 50th, yet we take by far more drugs than anyone else. How is that possible? How can we take more drugs? How can we spend more money per person on health care, yet our ranking plummets from 5th to 50th? It's because chronic health problems are so poorly treated. We just keep throwing drugs at chronic health problems to our demise. I mean, it's speeding up people's decay. Now, don't get me wrong. My wife gets on me every week. I'm not bashing medical doctors, all right? Some of my best buddies here in town are medical doctors, and I love them, and I think the world of them, and they care nothing, they want nothing more than for you to get well, all right? That's their goal, that's their purpose, that's why they went to medical school, was to help you to get well. The issue is, when it's a chronic health problem, and all you have in your pockets is a prescription pad, you know, that's really all you can do. I have a buddy of mine that kind of got fed up with that. He really wanted to sit and talk with patients and counsel them and teach them, hey, you know, you got to get active, and hey, you got to lose weight, and hey, you got to change the food you're putting in your mouth. And the system said, dude, you're moving too slow. You got to pick it up. You got to go faster. And they got into a little power struggle, and he kind of said, well, forget it. I'm out of here. And he left. He walked away from a big job and a big practice. And I give him all the credit in the world because he's really, truly about getting people well. So if you compare the two of these things, right, this brings me to the climax of our workshop. Which one's better, Obamacare or Trumpcare? And I'm going to tell you truthfully, I don't care. All right? There is no difference. All this talks about is, you know, how are we going to pay for all of these drugs and all of these nonsensical procedures that we do for people dealing with chronic health problems. Chronic health problems are going to bankrupt this country because we are throwing drugs and procedures at them that are never going to fix you and never going to cure you. And if you've watched any of my workshops, that's what we talk about here. Hey, you've got neuropathy. There's 10 different things that can be causing your neuropathy. We got to figure out what it is for you. Why do you have neuropathy? If you've got fibromyalgia, I explained this to a patient the other day. Fibromyalgia is not a thing. Fibromyalgia is a word that describes your symptoms. It doesn't say why you have fibromyalgia. You know, there was a rheumatologist here in town who told one of our mutual patients, he said, well, there is no cure for fibromyalgia. And I said, well, hogwash. What he means is he cannot fix your fibromyalgia. And he's not lying. He can't, because all he has is drugs. Lyrica, gabapentin, SSRIs, SNRIs. They'll throw all kinds of drugs at you, and they cannot fix you. But if your fibromyalgia is caused by an autoimmune condition, massive amounts of inflammation, trigger points, food sensitivities, leaky gut syndrome, and a chronic viral infection, and we find all of those things, and we fix all of those things, you live your life as if there was no such thing as fibromyalgia again. And I know this because this is what we see in our office all day, every day. This is what gets me excited to wake up in the morning and come here. If all I had was one tool, and that's all I could use, I wouldn't be, particularly thrilled about this. And I'll tell you, my personal story was, 15 years ago, before I met Dr. Johnson that I talked about earlier, I was just a regular chiropractor. And all I did was spinal adjustments. And I was really good at it. And I could help people that had neck pain or back pain. That was about it. Maybe headaches or something like that. But when somebody walked into my office with fibromyalgia or thyroid problems or Hashimoto's, those people scared me because all I had was one tool. A spinal adjustment. And I did. I adjusted everybody. And some people got a little bit better, and some people didn't get any better. And it just left me scratching my head. I got nervous when these people walked into my office. What am I going to do with someone with Hashimoto's? I couldn't even spell Hashimoto's 20 years ago. Nowadays, not only do I help these people, but I'm actually actively out looking for these people. Send me folks with autoimmune disease, because I know we can help them. I'm not telling you I'm going to cure anybody, but I'm telling you we help these people. We get people who are told, just get used to your wheelchair, shut up and take your drugs. We get them back driving and working and feeling fantastic again. And I'm not bragging, all right? I didn't invent this stuff, but I hang out with some of the smartest guys in the world. And when you do that, it kind of rubs off on you. So if you or someone you know and love is sick and tired of taking the drugs and still feeling like crap, then you owe it to yourself to give me a call. And we do this, every Thursday night. I end with this. You can call me up and I will give you a free phone consultation. I will give you free 15 minutes to come here to my office and have a consultation. We have limited time slots. We're pretty busy here. But I will always go out of my way because I truly feel that that's what God put me on this earth to do. To help you get off the drugs and get your life back again. There are two new people today who are getting ready to get their lives back again. And we're going to help them to get off the drugs and lose some weight, and get their brains working better, lift the cloud and improve their memory and focus, decrease their pain, improve their energy, help them to sleep better. That's what we're here for. So again, if this video makes sense to you, what I want you to do is like it, love it. I want you to share it with your friends, share it with anybody that you can think of. And if you have any questions, ask them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm going to post this, upload it to my Facebook page so you can watch it and share it with anyone. But ask any questions that you have down below, and I will put in my contact information. Call me. We'll set you up for an evaluation, or we'll set you up for at least a free consultation, and I'll tell you how we can help you get your life back. Thank you. Have a good night.